Alright, today's Broncos Super Bowl parade day. It's one of the rare times I'll be regaled in any Broncos gear. I don't really particularly care too much about football, but when I was little and the Broncos won the Super Bowl the first 2 times in a row, my dad came down to school and pulled me out of class so that we could go and hang out. Like, it was one of those cool moments when you're a kid to have with your dad, so it'll be fun to go off and relive some of that today. Use that to roll into some of a school project that I have to do and making an audio project about it. So, it should be fun. I also still feel terrible. Completely lost my voice this morning. So, we'll also see how that affects me throughout the day. Pretty screwed. You gonna do it?
I'm going old school. Got my Terrell Davis shirt. Got my hat from the first championship.
Pretty old school, man.
That's what we were doing the same thing 19 years ago.
Is that what it was?
Well, it was Super Bowl 32 and this is Super Bowl 50. 18 years ago.
Downtown was a lot different place back then, man.
Whole other world.
Was the turnaround as fast back then for when they did the parade? 'Cause I remember you pulled me out of school for both of them.
You know, I was so excited about that at that time. For me, you know, I was, 17 years ago, I would have been like 41. I'd been through, 3 Super Bowl losses, years and years, from being a kid to 41 years old, never tasting that victory. I must admit, I'm not the hugest sports fan in the world. When they won that first Super Bowl, I got a little misty.
Yeah, I was pretty excited when we came cruising on into class. And I remember the first one I was lining up to do art class, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were like lined up in the hallway. Felt pretty cool about that. Really? Yeah, dude.
$2 fee.
All my other buddies were having to sit around in class all day long. We're going to go watch the big parade.
I know public schools have to maintain their school is important thing, and it is, especially that first one. There's no way in the world I was going to separate. Yeah, take you to it.
And I remember, I think it was the first one, we were all the way down the other end of the park sitting on the wall, right?
Right.
It's like one of those weird memories that's like so thoroughly crystallized in my brain.
Isn't it?
Yeah. I'd probably pick out the exact spot.
I remember that football flying across and hitting you in the head.
I do remember that.
For a while this afternoon, you're going to hear from John Elway, you're going to hear from Gary Kubiak, you're going to hear from Peyton Manning, you're going to hear from Von Miller, you're going to hear from the world champion Denver Broncos. Let's make some noise! Denver, Colorado, how you feeling? Let's get the party started today. Come on, put your hands over this guy like this. How many of you guys are ready to welcome the Denver Broncos to their Super Bowl championship? I think I should know. To make love to something.
standing around waiting when there's a perfectly fine car. Alright, so that was a bit of me and Dad hanging out at the Super Bowl parade. You know, that was a fun thing to get to go do. I remember when I was like a really little kid, he came to pick me up. It's kind of hard to hear in the video. This camera's mic didn't fare so great with it. That was really cool when I was little. He swung in and grabbed me smack out of the middle of class and got to go check out the Super Bowl parade. And it's good to have those kind of things with your dad and got to spend the day hanging out. Also met my goal of shooting and editing this video all in one day, so that's much improved over the last one. Hopefully that means I can start cracking these out more regularly. Bye.